Hey guys, what's up? Sowerz here, and I'm bringing a Call of Duty Ghosts first impressions video today to the channel. So I'm going to try and talk about as much as possible about the game within around 10 minutes. So if I go through things quite quickly, and that's going to be why, because I'm going to try and get as much information as I can in this video. It's mainly going to be from an esports perspective, so if you guys are watching this video and are new to the channel, then that's basically where the opinions are coming from, more an esports and competitive kind of mindset. So yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. First things first, I got the game on Friday night, and I've played it for obviously about a day and a half. I played it the Friday night and pretty much most of Saturday, and today's Sunday when I'm recording this video. So I've played the game quite a lot. I've got quite a bit of, a few opinions on most things to do with the game. And first of all, my first impressions when playing the game is that it felt very similar to Modern Warfare 2 in terms of the way the guns feel, the way your movement is, the way it feels when you're aiming in and when you're shooting a gun. Now, people might say, okay, so what does Modern Warfare 2 really feel like, or how can you say it's like Modern Warfare 2? But I think the main comparisons I'd say is that when you're shooting with any gun, an SMG, an AR, it feels like, compared to Black Ops 2, every gun has kind of got a boost in range. So SMGs now have a lot more range to them, so you can use them at even long distance. I've been SMGing people across the map, which I'll go into some of the guns later. I've been SMGing people across the map, but not in a way that's like, oh my god, people are going to be running around with SMGs. But it's in a sense that I've managed to burst my trigger and make kills quite far away. But at the same time, assault rifles are very powerful as well. So it's very much like Modern Warfare 2. If any of you guys ever played that game, if you haven't played it, it's going to be hard to kind of draw a comparison. But to me, the gameplay feels very smooth, really smooth. The fact now is that I think it's a lot more about your right analog stick when you're shooting, which might sound a bit weird, but I think Black Ops 2 you could kind of get away with not really having to aim so much and more strafing to aim kind of thing. But on this game, it feels like it's a lot more right analog based, which Modern Warfare 2 was kind of like. It was a lot more about hard aiming, kind of not really running around like a madman and being aggressive, more left trigger based gameplay, which I think is what this game's going to be about. It's going to be more hard aiming, but it doesn't mean it's going to be slower paced. It's just going to be that people are going to be aiming down the sight a lot more and will have to aim a lot more to make kills at a decent range. So yeah, if you guys kind of are preparing for this game, I'd definitely recommend Modern Warfare 2. Personally, really enjoying the game, really enjoy the gameplay. It's really smooth, it's really refreshing. You do die very quick, which you've probably seen from some videos that people have been saying. But for me, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's not so quick that you die instantly. Sometimes it is, and it's like that in every Call of Duty where you die so quick that you don't get to react. But I'd say it's more up close. Up close, you die very quickly. But when it comes to like medium to long range, you do have a bit of time to kind of get into cover or hide away. But the bullet reg on this game is absolutely like so much better than Black Ops 2. It's so much less frustrating. I've rarely had occasions where I've played online and been kind of mad with the game. Whereas Black Ops 2, every single game you'd have 3 or 4 occasions where you think, what the hell just happened there? Whereas this game, I've only, even since playing it from the very start, I've had about 3 or 4 times where I thought, oh, that was a bit weird. Which, to say I've played it for a lot of hours is not too bad. So, I really am enjoying the game. I think people are going to really enjoy it. So that's kind of getting the gameplay out of the way, how it feels, what the guns are like, how they feel to use. Personally, I love it so far. But whether my opinion will change over time, I'm not so sure. But like I say, it's quite a refreshing game, really smooth and good bullet reg as well. The maps, as a lot of people have seen on Twitter, if you follow the esports scene, people are saying that the maps are huge, or it's going to be 7 versus 7, all this crap. But I mean, really, I've played all the maps, and I'd say, I think there's about 9 maps. I'd say about 5 of them are too big, and I'd say there's about 4 minimum which are a decent size. There's a couple that are actually, normal size, like pretty small. I can't remember the names of the maps, but there's a couple which are like Black Ops 2 size maps, so they're decent size. And then there's like 2 or 3 more, which are kind of the debatable maps where you got to say, right, okay, which ones will work well, because they're kind of a tiny bit bigger than Black Ops 2 maps. But I don't think they're big enough to say 5v5 should be used. I think 5v5 was used on other games such as Call of Duty 4 at the start, because it's search and destroy, which is a completely different game type. But if you have 5 versus 5 and respawn modes, it will be absolute chaos. And I really do think, as a spectator point of view, I think it will be very hard to watch. I think in terms of teams will stick together for about 2 days and then they'll split up, because 5 players, keeping 5 players happy in one team is not going to be easy at all. Teams struggle to keep 4 players together as it is. So I don't see it being 5v5 at all. I don't think MLG, Finny, anybody like that will do that, because they want teams to be stable, and it's also a lot easier for them to run events with 4 versus 4 and I think in general it will keep more players in the scene 4 versus 4. But yeah, I think 5 versus 5. If all the maps were stupid, as big as some of the maps are in the game, because some of them are literally the size of Skyrim, they're that big. But I don't, if the full map set was that big, then yeah, I could see why people would want 5v5. But there's 4 or 5 maps which I think, with the right game type, will be okay for 4 versus 4, and for respawn modes, that's probably the way to go. But yeah, like I say, maps in general, I think there's enough decent maps there to get something good going. Rules and settings, this is kind of the point where people are kind of struggling a bit to see what we're going to use. And I think that's mainly because the likes of Hardpoint and CTF have been removed from the game, so that's kind of meant that really looking at the maps and looking at the kind of game types that could be used, it looks as though really the only ones that stand out and say, yeah, that's going to be competitive is Search and Destroy or Search and Rescue. I don't think you can have both. Both are similar kind of style game types. I mean, I'm not going to go into what Search and Rescue is, you can pretty much look that up, but it's a good alternative to Search and Destroy, but I think Search and Destroy will stay in. Unless Search and Rescue proves to be really popular and people think it's something fresh and new that's needed. But respawn modes, I think for iSeries, because it's so soon, and same with the MLG event, which both are on the 360 by the way, if you're wondering. Unless MLG changed that, I'm not sure, but I know iSeries is on the 360. So basically I think that it's going to come down to if Domination works. I think that's the only one really where you can say as a respawn mode. I've looked at the others and I just think Cranked is just chaos. It's about team deathmatch running around like a headless chicken, and really there's a lot of game types missing from the game. There's no Demolition from what I've seen, no CTF, no Hardpoint. Obviously Infinity Ward is going to update the game and stuff and put new rules in and new game types, but in terms of iSeries I think it's going to be a real struggle to get a good rule set together. I think it'll be Search and Destroy and possibly Domination. Domination, from what I've played in Publics, I did tweet out on Twitter saying that it's a bit chaotic. But it's going to be like that when it's 6 versus 6 in Publics. So I'm kind of hoping that in a custom lobby 4 versus 4 it's going to be pretty different. So I guess we'll see on that front, because when it's 6 versus 6 spawns are a bit different, and different spawn points are being forced a lot more. So those will be tested out, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a good rule set together for iSeries. But in terms of perks, attachments, streaks and guns and that, I'll kind of go into that now, as we're coming up to the 8-minute mark, how it's just gone over. I'd say there's not really any standout things that are like, I mean there's a couple of guns. I'd say there's the burst gun, which is the MSBS, which up close is almost a guaranteed 1-bomb, and it's almost like a shotgun. I'm not joking you, I've played games where I've played against people using it and I've been killed by it, and it sounds like a shotgun, and when you die it feels like you died to a shotgun. But other than that gun, I've not really come across any that are overpowered enough to say they need banning. Obviously LMGs will be banned, the riot shield, some of the usual stuff, but I mainly say that burst gun is probably the one that needs looking at and possibly banning if it doesn't get nerfed in any form. I haven't really looked to see if there's machine pistols, so I don't know if they're going to be banned or whatnot, but I doubt they would be, because the rule set seems to be becoming more open with every CoD title that comes out. Perks wise, just a couple of the perks that are a bit alarming, like the one where you can hear dead silence, which amplifies everybody's footsteps. That'll probably end up getting banned, because obviously sound orange is not something we want in competitive CoD. Some other things as well, there's the elite perk, which makes your gun more powerful every kill you get, which obviously is just stupid, so that'll get banned pretty much 100%. But other than that, some of the perks, I think most of the perks are okay. There's one where if you clip someone with a grenade you can see them through the walls. Sometimes you'll see it in Publics where randomly you see people through the walls. Whatever that is, that needs removing, because I've never used that perk and I've still been getting it. Where I can see people through walls and stuff, so which is obviously stupid. I think it's actually it's like a VSAT as well as a score streak which people use, which is like a VSAT, I think, where sometimes if it picks somebody up you can see them through wall, like it's like an outline of the body, which obviously that needs taken out of competitive completely. But other than that, like I say, not much that's really that overpowered in terms of guns and stuff like that. Obviously a lot of the streaks I haven't tried out, but to me it looks like there's a severe lack of streaks that could be used in competitive. So whatever, I think it could end up turning out where it's going to be forced score streaks, so people have set score streaks like the Predator missile, whatever it's called in this game, and then a chopper and something else where it'll be like fixed, everybody has to use the same ones. I think it'll end up like that. But yeah, LAN lobbies look pretty good actually, because they will add more stuff, I know, for like from what I've been told, but you do have a lot of choices in terms of classes. So do you know, like on Black Ops 2 where you bought those extra class slots where you could have an S&D class and you could have a hardpoint class and a CTF class, but you couldn't have it on LAN. It was just you had your 5 little class slots and not like different. What's the word here? I don't even know what the word is, but basically you've got a lot of options, so you can make your own hardpoint classes set of 5, then a S&D class set of 5, and it's based in characters, so each character has its own class sets, and you get 6 on LAN, which is really good. So if you do take your own account to LAN, then you won't have to faff about with changing your classes for every game type. So that's obviously pretty good. But yeah, that's just my first impressions, kind of giving you a bit of a rundown on the game and just general information. Like I said, I'll be doing a Q&A tomorrow, so post your comments below and I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. If not, then just tweet me them on Twitter. I'll always be tweeting out as well a lot of information about the game as soon as I get it, and just kind of my thoughts on things as I keep playing it. If you're wondering why I've been coughing all the way through and it sounds a bit edited, it's because I've been ill over the last couple of days, probably quite from EGL, but yeah, so sorry if that was annoying at all, but yeah, that's why I sound a bit weird. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with a Q&A video. Please drop a like if you found this helpful at all. And yeah, we're looking forward to Ghost. Hope you all enjoy it on Tuesday. I will be back to streaming on Tuesday straight from release day, so yeah, I'll probably be doing a video on that morning anyway, kind of saying that. So yeah, thank you all for the support. Please drop it a like if you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.